Hello, my name is Ross. I am doing a research paper about, or research video about podcasts, and it made me think about what podcasts are really good for. And the most important part of them is that they are portable, and you can listen to them anywhere that you can. Well, I guess you can download them and listen to them when on the go. You can listen to them while you're connected to the internet, and any which way you seem fit. You can do it on the bus, in the car. But I was thinking, well, why and how do those become so important and so necessary? And I thought that about 15 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, it wasn't that uncommon to go from place to place to place to shop for groceries, shop for clothes, shop for anything you need around the house. And there weren't many one place shopping centers like there are today. And I kind of thought about that in the respect of podcasting. If you needed to listen to a lecture, then you're at the mercy of the time where the lecture was being spoken. Yeah, you'd had to go to the event place, and you would have to go to sit down in a chair, waste your time waiting around. But the wonderful thing about the podcast is that it's on your time now, and you don't have to think that much further ahead in order to get the information that is being distributed. When I was listening to some of these podcasts, one specifically from the Google Teachers Tribe podcast, they were trying to talk about new tricks and ideas that you can use in the classroom. It was specific to Google certifications where you can sign up for. And Casey, a special guest, actually posted an update regarding inserting audio into your Google presentations. That was back in April, and I guess Google decided that they weren't going to allow it. And so this host, Casey, who actually put everything together for herself and made tutorials for it, was kind of disappointed, and then found out later in November by this month that um, Google has opened it to the domain users, or actually to all users. And so that is a wonderful tool to be able to now learn how to add audio files into your Google presentations. One thing about the Google presentations and Google tools was specific to this one student who was fifth grader, and she was blind, or still is blind, and she had to use all sorts of different types of education tools and uses of aids. And there was an ability to where she was able to use Google Screen Reader to allow what was actually being translated. And I was giving her own inclusive learning empowerment. And it was really exciting to see how the technology is useful to the student instead of hindering the student, like you hear from all these screen time is bad, computer time is bad, get these out of the classroom. But that was a much needed excitement for the ability for Google and for technology to be used for specific needs children's. Another good podcast that I listened to was about the new teacher ideas. It was off of the Teacher's Lounge. And this one teacher who spoke about the difficulties of becoming a new teacher, it was hard to understand the reason for being excited and having gratitude over complaining about what was going on with their class. And he had a specific student in seventh grade science who was just failing school. He had his assignments crumpled up in front of him right after he received them from his teacher. And it just so happened that at one point the student turned around and, instead of disengaging, was quite engaging and became a straight A student. And the teacher, Owen, he's like, well, what's going on? I don't understand. So he's talking to his teachers, he's talking to his other students, and they're finding out that this isn't something that happens every year, every time, every day, like Owen may have thought. But what was nice is back when he was doing his training, his specific training said that all it takes to change a student's life is the appropriate adult at the appropriate time. And from all the struggles and disappointments that he's had during the school year, he was able to hold on to that one student, and the mentor teacher that he had really decided to have him focus on that and said, well, at least you got to that one child, no matter how difficult your actual student or actual teaching time was. So listening to all these podcasts, it was really exciting to hear the different abilities and different technologies and different ideas through all sorts of different avenues of people. I wasn't just limited to my area in Little Redding, California. I was not limited to anything. I was listening to people all the way across from the other side of the country and through the Midwest. And it was really neat to be able to listen to these whenever I did need to or whenever I wanted to. So it's a different time and an exciting time for teachers to be able to use this type of technology and to be able to hopefully incorporate this in the classroom when I get more aware of all the excitements and technology uses.